Firecast, a podcast from MDM Publishing, brought to you in association with Asia Pacific Fire magazine, focusing on disaster management, fire protection and the fire service.
Welcome to this latest Firecast, where today we're looking forward to AFAC25, powered by INTERSCHUTZ, returning to the Perth Convention and Exhibition Centre for the first time since 2018. AFAC25, powered by INTERSCHUTZ, will be held from the 26th to the 29th of August, and will explore the theme from local to global, leveraging systems, capability and connection. AFAC25 will explore the dynamic intersection between society, systems and technology, and how we can capitalise on local and global connections to build a safer future together. AFAC25 is proudly hosted by the Department of Fire and Emergency Services and the Department of Biodiversity, Conservation and Attractions in Western Australia. This is the first of two podcasts looking ahead to the event, and today I'm really pleased to be joined by AFAC President Commissioner Darren Klemm, AFSM, from the Department of Fire and Emergency Services. So, Commissioner Klemm, thank you ever so much for taking the time out to talk to us on this Firecast. I want to start by just asking about the theme of this year's conference, which, as I said, is from local to global, leveraging systems, capability and connection. What does this theme mean to you?
Look, there's probably four key parts of this theme that I think are worth just talking briefly about today. The first one is just that recognition of a connected system, and every year that goes past, we see the importance of fire and emergency services being connected, not just across states and territories here in Australia, but into New Zealand and further afield internationally. We're forever sending firefighters in particular into Canada and the US from Australia and New Zealand, and that connectedness just grows more and more every year. So that's really important that we can actually take our learnings and put them into other countries, but also have the opportunity to bring those learnings back from other countries. And I think that leads into the second one, which is the global learning and collaboration. And that, just in the last 12 months, we've seen those significant fires in Los Angeles, the floods in Spain, which are great learning opportunities for us to help us with what we see in Australia is a constantly growing or ever growing response requirement into these significant events that happen as we deal with the changing climate. So particularly with an emphasis on sharing the knowledge that's out there amongst all the different agencies in Australia and New Zealand and internationally, but also the new technology. Of course, artificial intelligence is a key part of what we do now, and making sure that we're sharing those data-driven solution opportunities that are there. So that's the second one. Third one is a sort of real focus on partnerships and collaboration, and that's, you can see that in the first two. I've talked about the importance of understanding that invariably someone's dealt with that same problem that you've got in your particular organisation, and the ability for you to see how other people have dealt with it and possibly learn something from them is what those partnerships and collaborations about. And then the last one is just the intersection of society, systems and technology, and the ability again to be able to share that, how we might be able to leverage off things that might be happening locally, but also globally, and those connections can add to that to help us build a safer future.
Now, you talked about learning and sharing the knowledge. What are you hoping to see on this year's programme specifically about that?
Oh, look, I think certainly the community and culture, what we know in fire and emergency services, not only here in Australia and New Zealand, but across the world, there's a real community about it and a really positive culture about it. I think is important to say, and we'll see that at the conference, and we see it at every conference in terms of the importance of that of like-minded people dealing with the same issues in really difficult circumstances, being able to come together and share their learnings and knowledge. And they do that through case studies. They're certainly going to be at the AFAC conference this year, here in Perth is going to be a great opportunity for people to listen to case studies and take knowledge away from listening to those case studies, which are really based on, as you can imagine, on real world problems that people have had to face and solve in their particular jurisdiction. Of course, great opportunities always to partnership and collaboration of continuing to explore where we might have strategic partnerships across sectors. I mean, just here in Western Australia, we've got a really significant mining industry that, we spend a lot of time dealing with, the BHPs and the Rio Tintos and these sorts of organisations in making sure that we're leveraging the things that they do and bringing them in to our way of operating, particularly when we're dealing with emergencies here in Western Australia. But those connections that occur across states and territories in Australia and New Zealand can be leveraged off, as well as those connections that you make overseas, and then you're able to. It sort of really reduces the size of the environment that you're working in, and the ability to be able to reach in to all parts of the globe. Really important, and then all of those connections and partnerships of value make it able for you to look at and understand other parts of the world where there's been advancements in AI. Robotics is really an interesting and developing part of response to emergencies now. UAVs and sort of a range of other technologies that enhance capabilities. So those are the sorts of things we're expecting to see, and we're putting together a really robust program that'll highlight these things for those that are at the AFAC conference this year.
Well, you've really sold it, because there's so much going on and so much to learn and share. But I'm just interested, actually, from a personal point of view, on the fact that obviously you're one of the host agencies, but you personally are AFAC president, as I mentioned in the introduction. So what does it mean to you that this event is taking place in your home state?
Oh, it's so important. We haven't had the AFAC conference here in Western Australia since 2018, so it's a great opportunity for us to showcase our state. But it's probably going to mean that I'm going to be awfully busy. I know that much. But that's something we're really looking forward to, and it is, it's a really significant honour and a great opportunity for both agencies to be able to host here in Western Australia. It's a really fantastic time for fire and emergency services in Australia and New Zealand when we attend the AFAC conference, because it's a great opportunity for people to come together and over the course of that week be able to sit down and work through some of the issues, renew relationships that might have, because of how busy everybody is, might not have been able to be connected in recent times. So that's a really fantastic part of it. And the digital connectivity piece, it's easy to get on a Zoom or a Teams meeting these days, and so the very size of Australia makes these conferences really important for people to get face to face and talk through some of those common issues. Certainly, the AFAC conference really highlights diversity and the expanding scope of the sector. It's the advancements in terms of the broadening of the sector in the last 15 to 20 years have been really significant, and no longer do agencies just deal with these significant events on their own. And that's a really important part of what AFAC is about bringing in a range of disparate organisations with a common cause particularly around community safety here in Australia and New Zealand. So we're really, really excited about that opportunity that's there. And then, of course, sitting just outside of that is an ever-growing interest from other sectors of being part of the fire and emergency services sector, and where the AFAC conference is a great opportunity for those people who sit just outside that to be able to come inside it and be a part of all of that knowledge that's going to be there. Last year's 30-year milestone event broke some attendance records, so the pressure's on Western Australia to be able to meet that 4,600 attendees last year, which was a fantastic conference over there in Sydney. But the AFAC conference is really an important event that continues to support the fire and emergency services sector growth and evolution.
Well, most people don't really need much persuasion to go to Perth, to be honest, Commissioner, but there you go. And so with people coming to Western Australia, to Perth for the conference and exhibition, what does the state have to show the rest of Australia, New Zealand and international delegates?
Well, Western Australia is one of the largest emergency services jurisdictions in the world. It is an incredibly vast state with different terrain and hazards from one end of the state to the other. The Department of Fire and Emergency Services is also a very unique organisation in that we manage a significant number of different hazards. It's certainly fires and hazardous materials, but floods, storms, cyclones, and the like are a key part of the response to emergencies here in Western Australia for both us and DBCA. So those broad range of capabilities and expertise that exist in DFES is one of the things that people are going to get the opportunity to see. But it's not only that, it is a very beautiful state, fantastic beaches, a great opportunity for people that are travelling in, perhaps haven't been here before, opportunity to look at great parts in the southwest and wineries and these sorts of things. And then, the Ningaloo Reef up in the Midwest and the mid-north there, and then up into the Kimberley where there's some unbelievable scenery and natural assets, natural environments around some of that really remote areas that people would be able to visit while they're here. So a great opportunity for some tourism in a state that offers a really broad range of opportunities to see different things on the back of a conference that's really going to focus in on the future and that connection of what is quite a remote state in Australia and in parts of the world, but a great opportunity for those people to come here and see what we can offer.
I want to know, I always ask this because there are so many different aspects to the conference, as you said, about the networking, the exhibition, the program that is different on each day. What would you pick out as your top 3 things that you're looking forward to at this year's conference?
Oh, well, certainly the networking. There is great opportunity. As I said, most people in our sector, as I'm sure they are across many sectors, are really on a day-to-day basis incredibly busy, and it's very easy to get caught up in your own world and not take those opportunities to discuss sort of critical matters and problem solving and some of those solutions that sit perhaps outside of your vision. Those are the things that the AFAC conference brings because there is such a broad range of people that attend and opportunities to catch up with people, which is always a fantastic thing, particularly in Western Australia where, we are quite a remote state and significant distance away from the other states and territories in Australia and also from many parts of the world. I did hear someone talk about a 17-hour plane ride from the UK. So, it is difficult for us to get face to face with people. So the AFAC conference for me is a really great opportunity for us to not only showcase our state, but also have people from around the world come to Western Australia, be a part of the conference, and also allow us to spend some time with them and get the knowledge that they have to be able to share that with us, and we can share the same thing with them. There is Research and Innovation Day. There's going to be a broad range of keynote speakers who will cover some really fascinating topics. One of them from the UK, I might add, professional development program, and of course, really critical part of the conference is the exhibition, which is a great opportunity for all those businesses to showcase their products and the new innovation, some of the robotics and AI. That sort of thing is going to be pretty special.
I'll come back to the exhibition in a moment. I just want to say, though, that you've said about getting people into Perth, well, you're certainly making sure that they're getting there they're, if not money's worth, time's worth for travelling to the city, because just looking down the list of the event combines the AFAC conference that we've talked about, but we've also got, and I'll take a big deep breath here, the Australian Disaster Resilience Conference, the Institution of Fire Engineers Australia National Conference, and the Women and Firefighting Australasia Conference, all at the same time. Now, what are the benefits of bringing these 4 conferences together in one?
Well, the first thing it certainly demonstrates is that it's we are a really broad environment that we work in. I think that's demonstrated that it does allow, there are some efficiencies for those organisations to be a part of the AFAC conference, and certainly, that is essentially those same people that would be attending their conference. So the ability for us to connect all that together, given that we are in the same sector, the fire and emergency services sector, it is fantastic to bring them together. There's clearly benefits around the diversity piece and not perhaps the most obvious diversity piece, but that diversity of thought of people coming from different parts of the sector and bringing those different thoughts together, and the ability to sort of move from one part of the conference to another part of the conference, I think is one of the real positives of it, and a real draw card for people to be a part of it.
And we talked about the exhibition. Describe to somebody who hasn't been, or somebody who's not been for a while, what we can expect when everyone walks through the expo doors this year.
So it's a world-class forum featuring hundreds of exhibiting companies from Australia, certainly from New Zealand and globally. And they're all going to fit into 15,000 square metres of exhibition displays over those 3 days, and that's a great opportunity for those businesses to be able to showcase the very latest things that they're doing. The fire and emergency services sector is a sector that sometimes finds it difficult to change. There's a lot of traditions in the things that we do, and so for us to be able to work face to face with these organisations, to have a look at the latest products, to be able to help them to think about how they might be going to be able to develop future products to meet the needs of the sector. That's a really important part of it as well. It's not just about showing the products that they've got, but their ability or the opportunity that they'll have to be able to talk to fire and emergency services, not only the leaders, but the people that are out there on the front line doing the work, is be able to interface with them to see, all right, well, if I change my product based on this feedback, then what might that product look like in the future, that we can be making sure that we're a key part of organisations going forward. So that's a really important part of it. There's a live demonstration zone and a solutions theatre that offers a really comprehensive program and practical and educational presentations around for those manufacturers, suppliers, and industry professionals. As I talked about, it is a really two-way event that allows those organisations to show us their things, but also the ability to pull back out from those attending the exhibition of what they see the future, their future needs around products and the like. So there's a knowledge centre which will feature some popular research poster displays highlighting industry research and projects aimed at driving that change that I was talking about. And then there's also those that might be speaking at the conference. There's going to be an area where you can meet the speaker that you might have attended a session, not got the opportunity to ask the questions you wanted to ask, and then be able to sit down with those speakers and talk through some of that. So, and importantly, that exhibition is free to attend for people. So that's a really key important point as well.
Absolutely fantastic. So there you go. AFAC25. I think we've sold it to you over the last few minutes, haven't we? I've made a few notes. We've got an extensive programme spanning 4 days. So as I said earlier, it starts with the AFAC Research and Innovation Day. Then we've got the multi-streamed 2-day AFAC conference, which will feature the Australian Australian Disaster Resilience Conference, the Institution of Fire Engineers Australia National Conference, and the Women and Firefighting Australasia Conference as well, all running as concurrent streams of the conference programme. The conference will conclude with the Professional Development Programme featuring educational workshops and field trips as well. It is now time for you to sign up. You can do so at AFAC conference.com.au. That's AFAC conference.com.au, and we'll put all the links in the blurb as well. May I thank you, Commissioner Darren Klemm, for your time today, sir.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for listening, and get ready for AFAC25 in Perth. It takes place from the 26th to 29th of August. Don't miss it.
Firecast is produced and presented by Paul Hutton and is an MDM Publishing podcast in association with Asia Pacific Fire magazine.